What's a type you're attracted to but too embarrassed to tell anyone? Mad scientists. So many of these aren't embarrassing. Feral swamp witches that will haunt my dreams and send me increasingly disturbing visions until I crawl back begging for mercy. Crazy enough that I think I might actually get stabbed, but not crazy enough to actually do it. I like girls with big ears, haha, I find it cute. I like women that are kind of mean or at least look mean and stern. Girls with big noses. I'm not quite sure why. Something about a prominent nose just adds a unique sexiness to a woman's face. I still find the early 2000s skater or in a band type look hot. A skinny man who wears reading glasses. They're so hot to me. Tall women that are 35 to 40 and call me a good boy. Removed. Butch/androgynous women. Although I'm not embarrassed, being married to man I find when I mention it, it poses questions I don't really have an answer to. I like thick ugly men and I don't care, I'll tell anyone. If I'm fucking you, it means you're just not conventionally attractive, sorry. Obviously I find them attractive, they're just not classically so. As a 23-year-old woman, a mom in her 40s/50s. It's in for men to be into MILFs, but I've never heard women going for it as well. I never mention it. According to my therapist, it's emotionally unavailable people that never intend to truly commit to me. Edit, I hope y'all heal from the things that have hurt y'all and find the love y'all deserve. What movie did the strong female trope write? Fargo. The Silence of the Lambs. Terminator 2. Alien. Laura Dern, Jurassic Park. Seeing a strong woman in science at such a young age had a profound impact on me, and I truly think it's one of the reasons I am a scientist today. Fried green tomatoes gives you a selection of them. Lilo and Stick, Nanny 3. The Addams Family. Emily Blunt in Edge of Tomorrow. The Long Kiss Goodnight, 1996, with Geena Davis was great and doesn't seem to get much love. My Cousin Vinny. Not a movie but Kim Wexler in Better Call Saul. Edit, thank you so much for my very first gold. Rachel Weisz playing Evie in The Mummy. Take that, Bembridge Scholars. Mulan, the Disney animated one. Legally Blonde. Do you think jokes about the Titanic submarine are in bad taste? Why or why not? Serious. Removed. Objectively speaking, I know the answer is yes. A life is a life, no matter what that life is like or what it did. But at the same time, by God, the jokes practically write themselves. This wasn't a freak accident like the Titanic or had a single identifiable point of failure like when Cobb's helicopter crashed. This was an absolute shit show of a situation on every possible level. And somehow, every new bit of information just makes the damn thing look worse and worse. A practically jerry-rigged submarine that was bolted shut, a single window that was one piece of scrap metal away from the iron lung, no navigation system, only communication system was SMS, controlled by a $30 off-brand PS5 controller, made by a company that fired their SAFTA manager for not greenlighting the Titan because its window was only approved for a fraction of the desired depth, ran by a CEO who complained about safety regulations, and so much more. All of 10 minutes ago I learned that the CEO who again, complained about his industry being too safe, actively chose against hiring people who have experience with submarines because 50-year-old white guys aren't inspiring. I mean seriously, what the fuck else are we supposed to do? One of the people on the submersible is a good friend of my wife's parents. I've never met the guy, but my wife has a bunch of times. He's the one who's been down to the Titanic 35 times before. I get it. I don't think he's a billionaire and rich people are still people with thoughts and feelings, but I also don't understand what the fuck he was doing on this thing. Some people just want that feeling of adventure. My in-laws say they're both devastated, but he always kind of lived his life on the edge. He was also in his 70s and had a good life. I feel bad for that 19-year-old. I mean, the jokes kind of write themselves at this point. The CEO is down there and he's the one that wanted to save money and skip some important steps. I'm 50/50ths. I think it's bad taste to joke about someone's death, but it's also bad taste to expect your average person to care as much as the media thinks we do about billionaires who fucked around and found out. I do think it's in bad taste, but I understand why people are making jokes as well. I think it's too far out of a normal person's experience to see someone who paid $250,000 to go into an unregulated vessel, to look on the wreckage of the Titanic from a screen, with the whole thing piloted with a $40 game controller with many bad reviews. It borders on satire, and is just absurd enough for a lot of people to not register that there are actual people going through something awful. If they were research scientists or rescue workers or something, then it would absolutely be in bad taste. I think the absolute idiocy of the endeavor makes it fair game. It's like that missionary who got murked on North Sentinel Island. These 5 people paid 5 times the average person's annual salary to get into the jankiest looking sub known to man and charge headfirst into the only place more dangerous than outer space. There were no emergency supplies or rations, no safety clearances on the equipment, costs were cut on all corners, there was no tracking system in the vessel, no human waste management system, no vessel retrieval plan. I bet they don't even have fucking life jackets. There's no way to exit the vessel from the inside, so even if they did surface and are just lost in the ocean, they'll still suffocate. In this very specific situation, we aren't mocking the death of 5 people, we're mocking the death of 5 billionaires who were thwarted by their own hubris. Removed. What I find kind of shitty is the resources being spent on this and the media attention vs the refugee ship that went down. Nope. The rich aren't exempt from the Darwin Awards. Only one I feel bad for is the kid. Edit. Okay, I'm getting lots of comments on calling the 19Y.0 a kid. My apologies if that bothers people. I'm in my 50s and to me anyone under 25 ish is a kid. I do see your points, but I thought it likely he was just joining his dumb ass dad to bond or whatever and isn't as likely to be a complicit rich bitch suckass. No, I don't think they're in bad taste. I also don't think they're jokes. I think we're at a point in society where the friction between regular people and the ultra-wealthy is fostering genuine hate. And I don't think it's unjustified. Why would the average man mourn the death of a billionaire taking a frivolous expensive trip and having the hubris to ignore the risks?